Hey, what's happening, Herpers? So I'm out in the desert right now with Jada, and we are visiting in with our tarantula friend. I don't know if I really have decided on a name for her yet. Honestly, the video where I was out here trying to feed her and asked you guys for ideas for a name just didn't do that well. And so I didn't get that many ideas, and it felt premature to name her. So she's just my tarantula friend, haven't really settled in on a name yet. And I haven't been able to see her again in a while to do any more ruminating on what her name should be. This is actually the last clip that I took of her at the end of August, and I have not really seen her since, but that's to be expected. They become most active during monsoon season, but as the monsoon season subsides and the Arizona winter slowly rolls in, she's going to hunker down into her burrow and spend the winter mostly just conserving energy and entering the beginning stages of pre-molt for the next time she molts her skin. And while I wish I could give you more of an update on our tarantula friend now, her taking a break for winter is actually the perfect segue for today's video, which is going to be updating you on all of my reptiles and how their care has changed so far this winter, and just what reptile care begins to look like in late November, early December in Arizona. So with that, let's start with how my red Tegu is doing. She only took a few bites of some strawberry and egg in front of me, but it's looking like she is hungry today, so that's really how feedings go this time of year. It's real kind of touch and go and just see how she's doing on the particular day. Some days I'll put the food right in front of her and her tongue will be licking it, and that's all she does is just sniff it, and she doesn't end up eating it, or at least not in front of me. But today she is clearly hungry, so I don't have food on me right now, but at least not food for her. So I'm gonna go get some food ready since she is looking like she wants to take advantage of it today. Then we got Cleo. She's been fairly active. Right now she's tucked all the way back under the tree, and that is where I've got the majority of the heat wiring under this enclosure, so that makes sense. But she'll kind of come in and out from under the tree and warm up, recharge, do a couple laps around the tank, and then retreat back into her hide. But now that I've updated you on them and the tarantula friend, I already got the lid off of Captain Hook's enclosure, and he has been hanging out mostly under that little piece of bark. Let's see if that's where he's hiding out right now. Yep, there he is. Kind of difficult to see him with the color he is, so I'll pop on the black light just in case anybody is having difficulty. And now I will go ahead and see if he's interested in eating a cricket today. Now, in the wild, it's not impossible for you still to see scorpions out and about, although it is much less likely than it is during the summer. Just like the tarantulas that retreat underground during winter to focus on conserving energy and preparing for their next molt, most scorpions become pretty inactive during the winter. But Captain Hook here gets to kick it in my reptile room, which is kept nice and warm, so it looks like he still has his appetite with him. He has gone ahead and pinched onto that cricket, and oh man, he is just going right into eating it. I don't think he's even stung it yet. What are you doing? You're an animal, Captain Hook. Oh, right. Alright, he still hasn't stung it. It looks like he's kind of winding up for it, though. I'm not sure if he's decided what he wants to do, but it does look like he is actively trying to take little bites out of it and eat him. Maybe he just hasn't stung him yet because he hasn't made up his mind if he wants to have this meal and doesn't know if he wants to waste the venom on it. But it looks like he's beginning to make up his mind. Oh, and there it is. Captain Hook is trying to sting the cricket. He must have decided he definitely wants to eat this cricket, and he is tired of it wiggling around on him. So you can see he is really trying to get his stinger in there. I've seen where he nearly can pull off legs or even the head of the cricket with the stinger, and that might be part of his strategy. He's got some large pinchers, and generally the larger a scorpion is, usually the less potent its venom is. So maybe with larger species of scorpion like this, just the mechanical stabbing and pulling of the stinger itself ends up doing at least as much damage as the venom that they have to deliver. But I am far from an expert on scorpions, so let me know in the comments if that kind of impression I get from watching Captain Hook hunt is accurate, or if I'm off base with this one. But whatever the case may be, there's no denying that this is really just something to see. Finally, after a few minutes, the venom seems to have done its job, and the cricket doesn't look like it's resisting quite as much, which should allow Captain Hook the opportunity to drag the cricket back to a more secure place for him to enjoy his meal. Oops, and might have spoke too soon because the cricket is struggling again. This is why I do frozen thawed feeding with my snakes, guys. It sometimes makes me feel bad watching a cricket come to its end this slowly. So there's no way I would want to do it with any of my snakes unless I absolutely had to. Put my very secure bobby pin lock back in place. Now, go get Elle her food. I'm sorry, Jada, it ain't for you. But it is for you, Elle, so come on out. Well, alright, I thought you might use the stairs that I put there for you, but no worries, don't let me cramp your style. You didn't use the stairs, did you? Well, if that graceful fall from her enclosure didn't make it clear, she is definitely hungry and active today. I really love to see it because I love spending time with Elle and all of my reptiles. And this time of year, with the weather the way it is, I really only get to do that maybe 2 or 3 times a week if I'm lucky. She spends the other 4 or 5 days doing a lot of sleeping this time of year. She might come out of her burrow and bask for a couple hours a day, but the days that she actually wants to come out of her enclosure on her own get fewer and fewer, usually until about March or sometimes late February. But every year is different. For the first probably 3 years of Elle's life, she really didn't brumate at all during the winter. She'd stay pretty active the entire time. But as she has gotten older, Elle has started to exhibit more brumation-like behavior. I remember the first year she really got lethargic during winter, kind of like my bearded dragon would at the time. I got a little worried about her because she had never done it before. But all of that worry went away as soon as she woke up in the spring, because she woke up like a totally different lizard. She had a feeding response like she had never had before. She ate as a small Tegu, but she never would run after or chase food like you can see her do now during the summer when her metabolism is in full swing and she seems to be a bottomless pit for food. So if your Tegu starts getting lethargic in the winter and you haven't known them to brumate before, don't worry, sometimes it does seem to be something that they just grow into as they mature. But anyway, this has been brumation so far for Elle. I'm sure she will continue to get more and more lethargic as we move into winter, and it wouldn't surprise me entirely if she goes without eating in January or maybe gives up food for a big part of December. But no matter how Elle decides to brumate this winter, I will make sure to keep you posted on how she does and keep giving you updates. And on that note, if you want more frequent updates, make sure that you are checking out the shorts I post on this channel. I also post daily TikToks and Instagram Reels. So even if I'm not getting as many full-length YouTube videos up as I would like to, you can still get updates on how all of my reptiles are doing through the shorts format. And now it looks like Elle finished her meal just in time because my good camera died and she is ready to go back up into her habitat. Also good news for Jada because she is dying hearing my lizard eat those tasty eggs on the other side of the fence. I was going to try to film a short, sorry for switching the aspect ratio on the camera. But there she is. She decided she was done and ready to head back up into her enclosure. And yeah, Jada, you're gonna hate me. I actually threw her dish right into the sink this time. So I don't know if I really have leftovers for you. And there Elle goes back into her burrow. And now, last but not least, I'll update you on how Jupiter, my leopard gecko, is doing. You missed. There you go. Good job, Jupiter. Now let's get you back in. No, don't bite me. Alright, breaking out the tongs for Jupiter. If you've seen her on my channel before, it might be because you've seen her in my most vicious reptile video. Yeah, I've got big snakes and rattlesnakes, but at the end of the day, Jupiter here is the most excited about food and usually the most likely to bite me if I try to feed her by hand. And the update for her is her care doesn't really change much during the winter. She still stays pretty hungry all winter long. And since I have no intention of breeding her, there's not really any reason for me to force her to go through brumation if she doesn't feel like it. Anyway, that does it for today's video. Sorry I didn't have time to update you on how all of my snakes are doing a little bit more in depth in today's video, but Today happened to be a day that most of them were being kind of lethargic, so I'm going to get them in the next video. Make sure you like this video so YouTube recommends more of my videos to you, and I know to make more videos like this. And make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss next week's video of feeding all of my snakes, or at least attempting to feed all of my snakes in the winter. So if you want to see how that goes, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much to all the patrons who continue to support this channel and voted for today's video topic. Your support means the world to me, so thank you to all of my patrons, starting with my head herpers: Allie Ward, Amanda Lynn, Deborah Torgerson, Jane Cabin Girl, JCH, Lindsay Justice, Loki and Thor, Sierra Sicard, and Tiffany H. And of course, thank you to all the other members of the other tiers supporting this channel: Bud Geiger, Stephanie Moore, Chris C., MB Nash. Thank you so much for your continued support. It really means the world to me. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, but most of all, I hope that you just keep herping.